Hello everyone, this is your girl Erica Wilson, the host of It Had to Happen show. You knew that you had to turn to God because He's the only one that could get you out.
Such a blessing to be able to sit with you, son.
You know, like in the isolation, sometimes we feel lonely or not being able to fit in, or this person is not want to bother with me or whatever. But that is the time when God says, "Be still."
Right.
And know that I am God. There you go. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm a single mom with 2 kids, struggling, rape victim, homeless, robbed at gunpoint. All those things had to happen to me to birth me for my purpose today. And that's why I'm standing here today giving back.
Great day, great day, great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl Erica Wilson at It Had to Happen for our NFL Moms and Families show on today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here at It Had to Happen. Today, guys, we're going to be speaking on mental health, because how many of us know that that plays a big part of our everyday lives? And actually, it's not families take 2, it's family take 3. I had that wrong, Miss, so I tried to turn my head and not my heart. So it's NFL Moms and Families take 3. All right, so here we go. As I was just saying, mental health play a part in our everyday lives, a big factor in so many of our lives, especially at this time. When so many is going through, especially being, this pandemic thing, this new norm that we have to deal with nowadays. But how many of us know that we need to be able to speak to others about what it is that we're going through, or maybe experiencing, or maybe experienced, so we can share with others to teach others how to get through whatever it is that we may be dealing with, that they may be dealing with. So I want to go ahead and play this video really quick for you guys as our intro. on with
Yes,
me,
baby.
and we're going to be jumping right into the topic on mental health. So, welcome, Sissy Sandra and Sister Melissa. Welcome, 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 moms.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
All right, ladies, as we're going to be touching on a very sensitive topic today, we're going to watch two players that was in the NFL and was experiencing some things that had a chance to be on It Had to Happen, speaking about mental health. So at first, we're going to start with retired pro athlete Josh Evans. And I want you, Melissa and Sandra, to watch this video because we're going to be piggybacking off of what this young man says. But my God, this touched me so deeply what he said. So let's go ahead and jump right on into that video really quick. And then we can go ahead and speak about it. Shouts out to Desmond Perryman Jr. Thank you. Shout out to Real AJ. Thank you. Thank you for all of you tuning in. Let us know what you're tuning in from.
You look at a lot of those who raises a young man. Sometimes it's a woman that raised these young men, and things like that. And also too, I think moms, who were really hands-on with their kids, you set the tempo and the standard for what it's like to see a woman. Okay, you know what I mean? To see a grown woman. So to know how my mother loved me and how unconditional it was, to see how my mother was dying and I didn't know what was going on, but I still
Huh?
ate breakfast, lunch, dinner. The way she took care of me,
Okay, well, don't eat it then, Kim.
she put me first. And it gave me chills to talk about it. Like, she put me first. Like, regardless of what I was going through or what she was going through, her mission statement was to be a mom first. Okay? So when you put your kids before you, when you put how someone else feels before yourself, it's just a different level of respect. And as a kid, I didn't, you look at a lot of us, who raises a young man? Sometimes it's a woman that
My God, ladies, hearing that was Mr. Josh Evans. He used to play for them Jacksonville. Hearing that, he says, who raises these young men? Most of the time it's moms. What do you ladies think about? We're going to start with you, Sandra. What do you think about what he just said? And I'm going to kind of walk you through it a little bit. I didn't know at the time he played with Dallin, but I didn't know at the time that he lost his mother at a young age. And hearing him say what he just said, how did that make you feel?
It touched me. It touched me, but unfortunately for me, I have three boys, and I have the support from their father, my husband, as well as I had extended help. My extended family also helped me as well. So we had that support. But to hear, coming from him and being that he was raised by a single parent, I can't fully imagine how he felt, but I understand, and it touched me. His story really touched me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hearing Josh say that, and he basically said, who raises these young men?
Mm-hmm.
We are the first example of what our men look for in women. So Melissa, what do you think about that?
Oh, I can pretty much piggyback off um, what Sandra said because my husband was always there for our boys, and but just to hear the pain, I guess the level of pain I would say that he, the mom that his mom, I guess he and his mom had to go through what they, went through, but mom was always the first line of defense. She took care of him first before taking care of herself. And I've heard a lot of young men say that, that mom was you know, she was mom, but she would go without in order for the kids to, be able to do what they needed to do in life. And, and that's why, I when we look at a lot of the football games, you see a lot of the young men saying, "Hi, mom." because those were the people that were there. That was that support that was there for them, during their upbringing.
Mm, yeah, and, that's why I love the versatile that we have here, because I can speak on from a single parent, and you ladies both are married. Even though being a single parent, I did have that support as far as football when it was time for others to come around to help me out with my children. However, I have two young men as well, but to hear what he was saying and to see him all the time at the games and things like that, I never even knew what he was going through. So sometimes we don't know that the things people is dealing with behind closed doors. And mental health, like I said, it is scary. One, two, is not, we don't talk about it that much, but to hear him say what he said and to know that as a mother, speaking for us mothers, we know we put our kids first. Not just first, but we would drop anything for our children and do what it is that we have to, even if we have to, if that means going without, right? So hearing Josh say that, man, I mean, it blew me on the show, and I just couldn't even imagine. So today, ladies, what we're going to do, we're going to get two different, Josh is going to speak again, and then we're going to get another player, because inside the NFL, I don't think, maybe I'm jumping overboard, but sometimes I think people think that we don't go through things. You understand what I'm saying? Like, things is just so easy and it's just so gravy, as the kids would say. But no, it's not. Every one of us deal with things and deal with them differently. So we're going to hear from two players today, and we're going to see what they're saying, and then we're going to give our intake on it. I'm telling you, brace yourself. Brace yourself. All of us are, we're sensitive, but brace yourself, because the things, especially with Josh and what he said, just brace yourself. So now we're going to jump into the mental health and hear from players that spoke on mental health. It's no sound, Mish. It's no sound. Please bear with us, guys. Please bear with us. Well, ladies, as we wait for the video to play, like I said, please do brace yourself, because this young man has really dealt with some painful issues. So, are we ready to play it? Bear with us. So, Melissa and Sandra, speaking about mental health, were there times when, like we said, okay, I spoke with Sandra earlier today. You have times where now the players are reporting back, right? So all of the players are reporting back, not knowing where they may be in the next couple of months or so, right? And then with our situation, my son is still dealing with an injury, so he's not even on a team. Or what happens when you retire, all that plays a part. So how would you be there for your child during this time? An injury, not being in the league anymore, or just waiting to be on a team? Sandra?
I just have to try to be there physically and mentally, because I know with the mental health, it affects you emotionally. It affects how you act. It affects how you make choices and how you relate to other people. So being that they have started back going into the season, and then with my son, he's under new leadership. So I'm sure he's trying to process a lot and determine how things are going to play out for him. Because just because you report it back now does not mean that you still have a position, on that team. So for me, And my family, we would just have to try to be there for him emotionally and physically, be there just to support him and encourage him and motivate him as much as we can,
Mm-hmm.
and pray that, he stays focused.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Melissa, what would you say to that?
I concur with what Sandra was saying in reference to just being there, being the best, having just placing people around them that can speak life, be it
Mm-hmm.
during their time in the league, after their time, you know, they when they leave the league or during injuries. You have to have a strong support system that can get you through the tough times in life because they're gonna come. So just to be prepared, if and when they do come, that sign that can come in and step in and speak a word, into their lives that'll help them get over this hurdle to, I guess, to close one chapter and start another chapter in their life, with little to no, hiccups.
Right. Mm. That's good right there what both of you ladies said, and that's so true. One of the things I must say, and I know all of us do it, you definitely have to stay prayed up. we definitely have to keep our kids before God. And like I said, that's one of the things we all have in common. And like you have to, oh really, you really have to be there for your children. And during the time when they're growing up and football is all they see, right? They don't see outside of football. So as they become grown men, now, life after football, basically. What do you do life after football? Do you have a plan? If they were to come to you and speak to you about it and say, well, mom, I just don't know what, as a grown man, that can happen. Not saying that, our kids hold their own weight, but anywho, they'll come and say, well, mom, I just don't know exactly what I want to do. Or what if Denzel or Damien came to you both and said, mom, like, I just really don't know what I want to do at this point. What would be your reaction?
Well, my first reaction would be to pray about it and wait for God to give you the answer,
All
because
right.
you don't know what you don't know what plan he has for you as far as the football. It may be something in addition to the football. So
Mhm.
my thing would be to pray about it and just wait for an answer. And then when you get your answer, whatever decision you make, just support them.
That's it. That's it. So, Melissa, let me change it up for you. I'm going to ask you this question. What happens if uh, during Damien's career, he came to you and he says, mom, I just don't want to play the game anymore. I'm just over it. I just don't want to play the game anymore. I'm thinking about retiring. What would be your words of encouragement to him?
Well, my words would be, son, if that's what you want to do, I I completely support your decision. Because at the end of the day, it's not me having to get up and
That's
endure
it.
what you have to go through anyway. So, I support whatever your decision is. If you want to call it quits, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
As long
Mm-hmm.
as you have a exit plan, when you quit, you have something to fall back on, to do once you're done with that.
Mm. Wow. That's good right there. Because again, we know that during their careers, one day it's going to come to an end where they have to move on to the next chapter of their lives. And I always told, we're going to play the video really short here, but I already told Alan, whether you played ball or not, I'm still going to love you the same way. I'm still going to be that number one cheerleader in whatever you may decide to do. And to be honest, I even told Alan, I said, son, go ahead and retire. You having another child now, go ahead and just put the time into your children. But when somebody have that love for football, I don't have to get out there and sacrifice my body. But I do have to stay before God for my child and my children, to keep them uplifted, to keep him strengthened, maybe times that he can't utter a prayer out of his mouth, I got him. And I know that is with the both of you as well. But let's go ahead and listen to what Josh Evans had to say. Again, ladies, brace yourself. My God. Mm.
Care about perception, not care about what somebody think of me, right? That's what we all worry about. Oh, this person gonna talk about me. Oh, this person gonna look at me this way. Oh, this person gonna think I'm crazy, right? Like, I've never told nobody about my PTSD issues. I've always quiet, always put on a smile. And I also want to apologize. I want to apologize to you because it wasn't something I did to be like to mean any harm. Like, far as my jealousy or anything, I kept distance. You've always been an amazing mom, and it's not nothing with you. I just could like, it was just the hurt and hatred I had in my own heart of seeing other men, young men my age, with their moms, and I could never have that. So for me, I would always be in my own world. I always distant myself. And there's been times you reached out and you said, "Hey, you'll check on me." Always been sweet, always been respectful, never did anything. And I never had no cruel intent behind it. I just mentally wasn't in a space to be able to accept it. I care about perception, not care about.
You see that? And how many times do we come in contact with players when we go into our kids' games, our sons' games? And to hear him say the jealousy that he had in his heart, he never spoke to anyone about PTSD, but the jealousy was only there because he could never experience that with his mother because his mother passed away at a young age. So hearing him say that, I mean, what do you, I'm getting so choked up, but what do you say to someone like that? If that was your child and your child came to you and told you about their experiencing PTSD, because that's something not talked about. I see Latrice Hunter says the beautiful thing about college athletes now is most D1 programs have mental health professionals on staff to help the students. But how do you get, this is my question to you both, how do you get the help if you don't ask for the help? So what would be your words of encouragement to try to encourage someone that may be, or whatever, a parent, whoever it may be, what would be your words of encouragement to them to get them to speak out and seek the help that they need?
To just don't be embarrassed about it. You know, we all go through things. You know, it's not healthy. So I would advise them to just seek help. They don't have to tell anybody what they're going through, but try to talk to somebody so that they can help them through the process.
Because as we know, in Black communities, we normally don't talk about
Hmm.
our health, our mental health issues. What happens home stays. What happens here stays here, and that's normally how it is. So, Melissa, what would you say to that?
That's I would just definitely, first pray with them that God, opens their heart that they can, that they'll be able to share, that they'll find the right person that they can share that experience with, how they're feeling, because it is definitely a hard thing because, you can't, it's hard when you feel like you can't trust people. And so you really need some godly counsel, to allow God to direct you to that person that can assist you in, whatever you may be going through. I don't, I tell people, if you can find a godly counselor, a godly therapist, then that's so much better than someone's just gonna, be there to tell you the worldly way of doing it. And so, just seek godly counsel, somebody that's, that can help them through that process.
Yeah, that is so true. And then, like I said, a lot of times when we go to these games, you see what he's saying. He said he wore a smile. He wore a smile even though he was hurting in the inside. You don't even know what somebody's going through. Just because they're smiling don't mean that they're good. And a lot of folks don't understand that it's okay not to be okay. And Melissa, you hit it right on the head. You have to seek godly counsel, because when you seek the worldly counsel, and nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking it. However, we know that God is not going to ever steer us wrong. But again, if you just have that person, you heard what he said, sis, both sis, you heard what he said. He said that I used to reach out to him and invite him to things, and he just, the hurt that he was feeling, knowing that he could never get this again with his mothers. So I want to encourage anybody that's under the sound of my voice, if you still have your mothers, love on them. Love on them. You hear the hurt in this young man. And I wish that I could play more, but I'm definitely, fathers, you haven't got, you didn't get off, because I got a message for the fathers from this young man that's, I'm telling you, my God, that they need to hear. Even our children as their fathers now, they need to hear what this young man said as well. Now we're going to move on to another player, which is Chad Major Nine Thomas. He was on our season finale, and man, he even spoke on mental illness. So let's go ahead and play his clip.
Down in depth to it, like really understanding, like taking the time out to understand yourself. That's a big part of your mental health. Because one thing we always try to understand the outlook in. Like we try to be somebody else looking at ourselves, and not really look at ourselves from the inside out. So that's a big part of my mental health process. Just making sure I understand myself first, instead of trying to understand the people that's trying to really understand me. Because they didn't take the time out to learn me, and I really have to take that time out to learn myself.
Good God Almighty, that was a word in itself. That preached all by itself. So let me tell you something. That was a mouthful that someone needed to hear. You need to learn yourself from the inside out and not worry about what the others are saying. That's good, son. That's good. That was.
Melissa and Sandra, what do you think about that? He said, learn yourself from the inside out. We can't try to see ourselves through other people's eyes. We have to see through our own eyes. What do you ladies have to say about what Chad said?
I agree. Before somebody else around you can relate to you, you need to know yourself. You know your flaws, your negatives, your positives. You just got to know yourself so that you could be a better you, so that people around you can understand you better and not misinterpret anything the wrong way. And while you're learning yourself, you're also building character. So I think that's important.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I noticed too, Sandra, Sissy, I noticed that sometimes you can explain yourself to you blue in the face, but whatever somebody want to understand, that's just what they're going to understand. So you just have to be the best version of you. You just have to put your best foot forward every day and be the best version of you. And whoever's going to accept you, that's who's supposed to accept you, because those are the people that's supposed to accept you through God, right? So we just know that we have to put our best foot forward every day and be the best version of ourselves. But to hear him, what he said, some are living their lives like that. They're living their lives viewing themselves through other people's lenses. Thank you, Holy Ghost. So Melissa, what do you think about that?
That was awesome because we all should want to, as you said, Sissy, to be a better me, you know, throughout the course of, every day, our life period. We want to be, the best person that we can be. And in order to be the best person, the most effective person for, our families and our friends, or those that God has placed in our lives, then we have to do a self-examination to make sure that everything we're doing for ourselves lines up with what, God has for us. Because the perception that people may have of us, like you said, it doesn't matter what people think. And I always tell my kids that, just please God and everything else will fall in place. So, my thing is be a God pleaser, not a man pleaser. And a lot
That's
of
it.
times that's where the problem lies. Because we want to please man. I don't care how much we do for people, they're still gonna have an issue. If it's not right now, later on down the line, they may find something wrong. But so if you don't worry about being a man pleaser, your life will be a whole lot better.
Mm, that's good right there. And I tell you, the Holy Ghost was definitely like some things because that's exactly what I was going to say about being a God pleaser and not a people pleaser. But what happens when I think I can say, even though we're feel, love God, we're sold out for Christ. What happens when you have that weak moment, right? And um you do fall into I've been there. I can speak about it. I can be transparent. You do try to please the ones that you love around you. And the more you try to please, the more distant that they get. It seems like you're losing yourself trying to please others. Am I making any sense, ladies? You, you find yourself being everything to everybody else, but then neglecting yourself. So we know that in this life, this thing we call life, we definitely have to take care of ourselves first and be good to ourselves before we could be good to anybody, right? So now that we heard from got two different perspectives from two different players who is in the league, now we can see that yes, people in the league have problems too, that they're dealing with mental health as mental illness as well. They may just not speak about it. Some may not even know which way to turn for help, and some may just be embarrassed about getting the help that's needed, because I know that there are so many resources out there. But again, God is our first resource, and that's who we must turn to in everything that we go through. So, this video, Josh speaks about, he gets really deep. He gets very, very deep in this video here. And as the videos go on, I'm telling you, he get deeper and deeper. But just hearing what Josh was saying, ladies, it opens up your eyes. And I start thinking, is my son going through anything that he's not telling us? Because, as men, they're taught to be so strong, so masculine. You're not supposed to cry. You just deal with it, basically. As children, when we was, some of us been bad before, and when we got spankings, what was the first thing our parents told us? You better not cry, right? That's instilling fear. So I started wondering after hearing what this young man was going through. I'm just like, oh my God. But then I had to turn around and remember, that I hope I have, left that door open for Alan to be able to. He said I'm a warrior, and that I am. That's just mothers. But however, I just want us as parents to let our kids know that the door is open if you need to talk. Yes, we may worry, but I told Alan, I said, yes, I may worry, but your mother know how to pray as well. So it may bother me for a little minute, but he ain't gonna get too much of my time. So what do you ladies say about that? Starting with you, Sandra.
I agree. I agree with everything you just said. I pray.
Mm-hmm.
I pray. And the same thing you said. I don't know if if Denzel is going through anything, or if any of my kids are going through anything, but I just want them to know that the door is always open for them to come, talk to me. If not me, at least talk to their father,
Mm-hmm.
and just know that everything is going to be okay. And if you can't talk to me or your father, just know that you could talk to the man up above.
Right. Amen. Amen. What do you say, Melissa? Amen.
Well, yeah, the same goes for me. I I must say that I've gotten a whole lot better because I used to worry a lot, but thank God now I've gotten to the place where I can cast those cares upon him, because he said he cares and he can do so much better than I could ever do with taking care of him or taking care of them. So, do I still worry? Yeah, sometimes it creeps in, but I have to immediately remind myself that, God is in control and there's nothing I can do to help the situation. Worrying is only going to make me sick or feel
Right.
bad because, there's nothing really I can do. But the door to effectively communicating with myself and my husband is always open, and they know that. And we never judge. We give them our perspective on the issue, and at the end of the day, it's still left up to them to make whatever choice that needs to be made.
Absolutely. So that's one of the things I think just a mother. It's just a mother's nature to worry, And I can admit, sissies, that I had it really bad at one point to where when I heard an ambulance, I used to call my children. If I heard the police sirens, I used to call my children. And I know that it really, and then too, I can say I really didn't know God how I know him now. I didn't have that type of relationship that I have with him now. However, it was a time where I did do that. And I know it got overbearing for the young men. However, I'm glad now that I can say, yes, sometimes I still do worry, but like Sissy said, you cast your cares upon him, because it's nothing nothing we can do about it. So why worry? You can't worry and pray. You pray, worry, that don't mix. That's just not going to happen. So now we're going to go ahead and go into this video again with Josh. And I think this one here is very, very deep. Yeah, very deep. And just listen to this young man speak. And I'm telling you, from the very first video that I shared with you ladies, you can see, you heard the hurt from the very first video. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into this one.
I just mentally wasn't in a space to be able to accept it. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to tell you, hey, I'm hurting. You know what I mean? Like, to see you kiss your son, to see you come to these games, every game, never miss a game, like, that hurts me because I could never have that. I just never knew how to speak up and say, hey, like, when I see this, I'm happy, but also hurting at the same time because I want that. You know what I mean? I want to come after a game I had a good game and hug and kiss my mom. I remember a moment where I don't even think you made me cry in this moment, and I'm telling you this because we never spoke about it. I had got hurt. Me and Alan got hurt in the same game. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. We got hurt in the same game. I forget what team it was, whether it was Atlanta or whatever. We both ended up having a concussion or something like that, and my dad was at the game. Here's the thing, my dad was at the game. I think my sister was at the game.
And try to go a little further while I pull a little further of that clip so I could go ahead and speak with Melissa and Sandra on what he just said, because I have a message for the dad at the end on what he just said after that. So did you hear what he just said, Sissy, Sandra? He didn't, oh God. He'll never get that again, he says. Just tell me, how did that make you feel watching that video as a mother?
I'm teary eyed, so right now it's just like I'm speechless. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I'm just lost for words. Speechless.
And just to know that we're amongst these people every single day. Somebody could be right on the side of you, right in the front of you, in your presence, hurting, dying in the inside. But they're smiling. Sister Melissa?
That's a tearjerker, and I can really sympathize with him because I had a cousin that lost his mom when he was in the 6th grade, and he went on to play. He went on to to get a double scholarship in academics and in athletics at Stanford University. And he, his mom wasn't there, to support him, to see him. And he was raised by his grandmother, and she was elderly. So, he never talked about it. He never, opened up about how that impacted him, or how he felt, not having his mom there. But it's very heart wrenching to hear that. And on the flip side of it, I'm thankful and grateful that God, and I'm getting choked up because God allowed us
Mm-hmm.
to see our sons make it to, college, high school, college, and then even into the league. And like, Sissy was saying, how many other young men that didn't get a chance to experience that, with their moms. And so, I'm just so thankful. I'm forever thankful and grateful that God allowed, me to see my son, experience those things.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely, as you can say, a tearjerker. I can't even get the word out because I'm telling you, I got choked up even when he said it on the show, and I just didn't. I had to take a moment because I didn't know how to respond. Um, just hearing that because again, you see somebody, and I used to always wonder, sissies, like, after the game, you go down to the family area and your son come out, and everyone is just fellowshipping or whatever. I used to always wonder, he'll stop, smile, and then he'll leave, and I'm just like, oh my God, like why he never sticks around. And again, I was one of those parents, knowing that the kids is, not from there. And if I'm living there, some holiday may come over for dinner, whatever it may be. I invited him over and I always opened up the door. And I used to wonder why he never accepted, but to each his own. But however, I never judged him or, to think he too good or, something like that, what normal people would do, right? So, but hearing him say that just broke me down to my knees. And I had, in order for you all to understand, because I think I'm jumping the gun, how this is so important. This is so important for you guys to hear what this young man just said, because as moms, I know every time that Alan went down, I tried to jump over the gate. So, at the league, high school, college, to the league, whatever. It's just a mother's instinct. You just try to get to your child and make sure that your kid is okay. However, Miss, do we have the rest of his clip? Because I'm telling you, it's deep. And the fathers need to hear.
Yeah, just let me know when you want me to stop.
I'm ready, so I can go ahead and jump on into it. Mm-hmm.
Be in my own world. I always distant myself. And there's been times you reached out and you said, hey, you'll check on me. Always been sweet, always been respectful, never did anything. And I never had no cruel intent behind it. I just mentally wasn't in a space to be able to accept it. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to tell you, hey, I'm hurting. You know what I mean? Like, to see you kiss your son, to see you come to these games, every game, never miss a game, like, that hurts me because I could never have that. I just never knew how to speak up and say, hey, like, when I see this, I'm happy, but also hurting at the same time because I want that. You know what I mean? I want to come after a game. I had a good game and hug and kiss my mom. I remember a moment where I don't even think you made me cry this moment, and I'm telling you this because we never spoke about it. I got hurt. Me and Alan got hurt in the same game. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. We got hurt in the same game. I forget what team it was, whether it was Atlanta or whatever. We both ended up having a concussion or something like that. And my parents never. My dad was at the game. Here's the thing: my dad was at the game, and I think my sister was at the game. And I went in, and brought me in. I was like kind of knocked out for a little bit. Allen got hurt, and I think he had I don't know if he had a concussion or an ankle knee problem. And I remember hearing you in the hallway crying because of what happened to him, and you wasn't aware of what was going on. That it made me cry. I cried because it's like, damn, I knew how you felt for your son to be hurt in the field, but I cried because my dad they didn't come down and check on me. And I was hurt. So it was like, damn, like, had my mom been here, she would be in that hallway crying with you. And that's a fact. But these are moments we don't know. You didn't know I heard that. You didn't know that I knew you was in that hallway. As soon as they said he went down, you was right there. Okay? You want not a second went back. Like literally, I came in and he came in. So these are moments we never forget. These are moments I don't forget. You get what I'm saying? Where I'm like, damn, I know my mother be in that hallway crying right now if something happened to her son. But being a dad and you want he'll be all right. He'll get back to it. They didn't know what was going on with me. They kind of let it rock, but I want to let you know that. And also wanted to say again, I do apologize. It was nothing you ever did to me. It was just my own mental illness that I was dealing with, of healing, of not knowing how to cope with it, of wanting my mom, of wanting to be able to make her happy, and to see, like I said, you and Jonathan, Cyprian mom, and all the other guys who had their moms in their lives. It was just always.
So, ladies, did you hear what he said about the father? I remember the exact game that he spoke about. So, a message to the fathers, even though I know that my bros, top notch. So, salute to Bishop Barry, Bro Barry, and Bro Perryman. But to some fathers who just, they hurt too. Men hurt, you're a man, but to hear what this young man said, his dad was there, but didn't come and check on him. Even his sister. What are your thoughts going through your head right now, Sissy Sandra?
I can't imagine. I can't even begin to imagine it. It hurts. It's hurtful, very hurtful, because, like you said, from Pop Warner all the way up to the professional league, any one of my kids got played. I hopped fence, I hopped everything. I was right there. I was right there. And to know that, he had someone there at the game and they didn't come support him, it's a hurting feeling. A very hurting feeling.
Absolutely. And not even knowing like what the extent of the injury was. You know what I'm saying? If he's saying that he was out for a moment, I got chill bumps. But to hear him say he was out for a moment, and he said that, oh, he'll be all right. I guess that's how some men think. Sissy, what do you think hearing that?
That hurts. It honestly and truly, it does hurt. Um, and like both of you have said, I was that mom as well. I was climbing gates. I was, pushing people out of the way. When one of one of my kids, were injured, and as a parent, as a mother, you know, those are our babies, and I don't care how old they are, they're still our babies, and when they hurt, we hurt. And so, there's nobody that can tell me, oh no, you can't go back there. Yes, I can. That's my child. So, I'm going back there. So call security and escort me back there, but I'm going. So, and these are things that, as parents, as especially mothers, you nobody can stop that. It's a given. It's a given, and thank God, that our husbands are there, and and they are there definitely to support their sons as well, their children as well. in any aspect of life, when they're hurting, as I said, parents, we hurt. We hurt. So, we cross all lines, all borders everywhere, to get to our kids when we have to. So, yes.
I definitely can agree with you, Sissy. Call security because I'm going. And I know you too, Sissy said call. But the one thing I can say God has truly, truly blessed us with is anytime Alan has ever had an injury, they were coming to get me before I even, could blink in a, well, I can say the Jaguars, within a blink of an eye, somebody came to get me. I think the most nerve-wracking one was in Dallas when he twisted his foot in the opposite direction, dislocated his ankle. And it seemed like it took forever for them to, me to get to him or however. But, that's one of the things God has blessed us with, to be able to get that. Or even Drew was on the phone because he knew. Alan's agent, he knew that I was, how it is when Alan go down. But he called me. I'm going to find out what's going on. I'll call you right back. So that's one of the things that's great. And I used to tell Sissy, I say, make sure you get involved, talk to these people so they could be able to call you and you can ask questions. Because I'm telling you, it was so bad, Sissy. I had the doctor's numbers, and this particular time when in Dallas, I didn't get to Allen on time. Well, before the ambulance left. And I remember going through the tunnel to get to the cars. And on the way to the hospital, Alan had the doctor to call me. He said, y'all got to call my mom. Now, this guy foot is in the opposite direction, and he's talking about calling my mom. And I spoke with him, and he was like, hearing his voice, it calmed me because he was calm, and, anywho, I don't even want to go there. But anyway, let's go ahead. Desmond Perryman. I know that feeling all too well. I didn't have that support, and that's why I supported Jesus, all of my kids and everything that they have participated in. And that right there, bro, spoke volume, because a lot of times we use that as a crutch. Well, that didn't happen for me, so I don't know how to do it. But guys, you see right here, my bro saying that he know the feeling all too well. He didn't get that type of support, and that's why he did it for every last one of his boys. Prime example right there. You see here at It Had to Happen in the comments. Guys, we're here live today at It Had to Happen with the girl Erica Wilson. I have the beautiful Sandra Perryman, which is the mother of Denzel Perryman. Also the beautiful Melissa Berry, which is the mother of Damien Berry. Listen, you have heard the NFL moms bring the table to the table on mental health, as well as you have heard from two other players who have been very transparent and opened up and share their lives with us about mental health. So Sissy, starting with you, Sissy Sandra, is there anything that you would like to leave with our audience on today?
Yes. If you're facing any difficulties or any challenges, or you're going through anything, just speak up, seek help, pray about it. But most importantly, like my sissy Barry said, seek godly help.
Amen. So Sissy, Melissa, we're all just a bunch of water bags. We need to get it together, ladies. Have to make us smile. So Sissy, Melissa.
I agree with what my sister Sandra said. That if if you're experiencing any mental health issues that you feel that are too overbearing for you to handle, pray first, and then definitely seek godly counsel. Seek help. Don't be ashamed. Seek help so that whatever you may be going through, that you can get through it in a positive way.
Amen. Amen. And my message would be
It
to
can
you.
turn. It can turn. It can really.
Yeah. My message would be, it's okay not to be okay. And as both of my sisters have said, seek some help, seek some godly counsel as well. Because the thing is, we know that the enemy is roaring his ugly head, and there is no respectable person that he just don't want to try. Especially we have to be there for one another. We have to support one another and be patient, people. I'm hearing this in my spirit. Be patient with others. We're so quick to throw people away. I can speak about me. We're so quick to throw people away, but be patient with people in this season. There's so many hurting people out there. Mental illness is real, guys. And I'm looking and hearing a lot of our kids committing suicide. We have to stay before the throne of grace for all of our people, not just our children, but for all of our people, all of God's people. We have to stay before the throne of grace. So, Sissy, and did Melissa drop out? I think so. So, Sissy, thank you so much for sharing your views on mental health today. Thank you for accepting the invitation to be a part of this broadcast. And you know that I wouldn't have it any other way but to have you on here with your Sissy, because listen, we 10 toes down about each other. All of us, all three of us, 10 toes down. And one thing about it is, yeah, we may be some water bags, but baby, do know that we know how to go before the throne of grace and fight for our loved ones. So Andy Gump says we're going to go over a couple of the I'm choked up because I just saw what Dee said and what Desmond, my nephew, said. So forgive me. I'm going to try to get this on out. We're going to go through a couple of the comments, what our guests have said, because we couldn't do this without them. So that's my cousin, Andy Gump. He said, it's okay to pray, but God created people to speak to us who are called therapists. We need to allow the therapist to help us and not be afraid of that, just as well as we allow doctors to do their jobs. Absolutely, cousin. But definitely, the therapist, yes, but you also have to seek godly counsel as well. Desmond Perryman just said, to my parents, I appreciate everything y'all sacrifice for us. Shouts out to Bro and Sissy Perryman. Andy Gump again said, I was driving but heard it in. Mental health is a topic we need to continue to speak about so people know it's okay to talk about it. Absolutely. Deshauna Upshaw, my niece, this is hitting me so hard. I'm texting my son right now. And I'm going to stop right there because I want you to know whatever your it is, your it had to happen to you for you to share with someone else. So this is why we decided to start this show and come before you guys and be very transparent about some of the things that we're dealing with and what we've encountered. As parents, as mothers, as women of God, we experience some things too. A lot of things, do know that. But this is why we felt the need to come before you all and share our stories with you all and know that we cannot do this without each and every one of you. And we're forever grateful for each and every one of you tuning in here with us, and it had to happen. So to my sons, we're going to shout out our kids before we go. So to my kids, Dara and Alan, I love you to the moon and back. I'm 10 toes down for you, and you know there's nothing that I wouldn't do for you both. And I just thank God for allowing me to be a mother to you both. Sissy Sam.
Junior, Denzel, Darius, and Quintero, I love you, and the doors are always open for communication.
Amen. Sissy Melissa.
Okay, I missed it. I got kicked off.
Oh, okay. It's just a message to your children.
Oh, to my children.
Yes.
Okay. Damien, Keandre, and Keon. Just know that it's okay not to be okay. And if you're not okay, then your father and I are here to help you through whatever the issues may be. We love you. God bless you. And continue to just keep God first.
Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and send out some virtual hugs and some virtual love because we love you so much here at It Has to Happen. We'll be back on next week, Wednesday at 4:30, God's willing, but definitely you guys do not want to miss the prayer broadcast with the Bishop Kenny Berry and the beautiful Satara J. So go ahead and book now at 5:30, God's willing. Meet me back here at 5:30 next week and 4:30. Meet us NFL moms and families back. And in absence of our beautiful Brianna Watts, we held you down, girl. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, bye-bye.
Erica's Empowering Empire. 88 Blessings Soar Movement. It had to happen in a beauty so rare. We'd love for you to join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Following our social media.